My name is Ron Bar-Yo, and I'm the young Israeli conservative. I'll give you 10 reasons why I'm not interested in peace with the Arabs of Judea, Samaria, and Gaza. 1. More Israeli sovereignty means more security, economic prosperity, and human rights for Jews and Arabs. There is no exception to this. It is better for an Arab to live in Judea and Samaria than in Gaza, and it is even better for an Arab to live in Israel than in Arab-controlled Judea and Samaria. 2. The PLO, the terrorist organization that later gave birth to the PA, was established in 1964. The L stands for liberation. From whom? In those years, Israel had no control over Judea and Samaria, which was under illegal Jordanian occupation, or the Gaza Strip, which was under Egyptian martial law. In 1964, the PLO did not seek to establish a state. Their goal was, and remains, the destruction of Israel. 3. A nation-state wants its citizens in its own country. The Arabs want to establish a nation-state in Judea, Samaria, and Gaza, but to send their refugees to Israel proper? Why? It seems more like a desire to destroy Israel than establishing a state. 4. Terror is more important to the PA leadership than building a state. Mahmoud Abbas Abu Mazen said that if he had $1 less, he would give that payment to terrorists, pay to slay with blood money. Under the PA, if you murder a Jew and sit in an Israeli prison, you will receive 5 times more money from the PA than the average salary in Arab-controlled Judea and Samaria. I'm familiar with the concept of using terror to achieve political goals, but this is the only case where politics is used to achieve terror. 5. Who do you make peace with? Are we now talking about a 3-state solution? Hamas, the terrorists controlling Gaza, the PA in Judea and Samaria, and Israel proper? The only reason the PA controls Judea and Samaria is because the IDF is assisting them against Hamas. If the IDF was not there, Hamas would take over the PA with violence, just like it did in 2006, 1 year after Israel withdrew from the Gaza Strip. 6. Some claim that the shape of Israel, after various international agreements, wars, peace agreements, more wars, and more peace agreements, is exactly the shape of a former Arab state. I have a better chance of winning the lottery 5 times in a row. They don't even have a real narrative, just a negative. A negative for Israel. 7. It is impossible to make peace with an imaginary group. They don't really have a true identity, which is why for them, terror comes before statehood. Free Palestine? When was it established? Who was the prime minister? What currency did they use? There are no answers to these questions because they have no real origin. There is nothing with the name Palestine prior to 1948 that didn't mean Jews. Less than a century ago, the Jews carried the Free Palestine signs, which to them meant giving the land under British mandate back to the Jews. Palestine Post was the name of the Jerusalem Post prior to 1951. Palestine Bank was the bank established by the Zionist organization, and so on and so forth. It is a made-up nation with no history, which is why I refrain from calling them anything but the Arabs of Judea, Samaria, and Gaza. 8. Hamas is the second wealthiest terrorist organization in the world. While Israel left Gaza, Gaza never left Israel. Instead of building hospitals, schools, or shopping malls, Hamas is investing its money in missiles and tunnels that penetrate Israel. The moderate PA teaches its children that Jews are descendants of apes and pigs, and under its laws, selling your house to a Jew is punishable by death. Why would I want to make peace with people who think it's okay to set up a Judenrein, a Jewish-free area? And who are you, delusional progressives, who support such a country? 9. I don't know of any case where a group seeking national liberation refused an agreement. It doesn't matter if the Arabs were offered 97, 98, or 68% of Judea and Samaria and all of Gaza. In 1948, the Jews agreed to 15% of the territory promised to them 30 years earlier. If you offered the Kurds 50% of Kurdistan, would they refuse? However, instead of taking the opportunity for statehood and independence, my neighbors simply never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. 10. Had they really wanted to establish a state, they could have done it yesterday. They have the 4 required criteria by the Montevideo Convention: territory, population, government, and relations with other states. They will not establish a state because they will never, under any circumstances, accept Israel as the nation-state of the Jewish people. Such a compromise would mean forsaking the true goal, which is the annihilation of Israel.